It seems a week doesn't go by that we don't hear about someone in the crypto space losing their crypto or NFTs to scammers, hackers, and other ne'er-do-wells. Back in 2017, we talked about how Travis got hacked and almost lost his cryptos. Kevin Rose lost $1 million in NFTs in a wallet draining attack just last month. And now it's finally happened. I got phished. It was an incredibly stupid mistake that could have and should have been avoided, but it's what happened subsequently that I find the most disturbing. Most of all, it's proof that it can happen to absolutely anyone. Today, we talk about how you can protect yourself through technology and hyper awareness on our Joel Doesn't Meet Trey Anastasio, but still gets phished, episode number 670 of the Bad Crypto Podcast.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, ignition.
Who's bad?
And yes, it has finally happened here at the Republic of Bad Cryptopia. A thief has taken my NFTs. Well, I could say I gave them to him. Joel Comm here, Sir Lord Travis Wright there. How you doing, good sir?
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, I gotta say, man, there's a lot of things to be learned from this. And I want to talk about what happened. They were NFTs, and you and I briefly said, well, shouldn't this be a nifty show? But honestly, it's the same type of thing that could happen to any of your cryptos. NFTs are just cryptos. They're just non-fungible instead of fungible tokens.
This podcast sponsored by Ledger. Make sure to get your Ledger and put all your cryptos on there. And don't get hacked or phished or bitch slapped.
And Pfizer. Don't forget to get your 18th boost.
This show not actually sponsored by anyone. But you know what? It's so interesting when Joel mentioned at the top there, Kevin Rose is one of the most probably proficient interwebbers out there, right? He's built some of the most amazing properties. He still got hacked. Mr. Beast, he got his stuff stolen. We'll talk about that a little bit. He could have got hacked and had all of his crypto stolen. He didn't because he was able to circumvent that. I mean, my phone number got switched, right? So what number was that? Episode number 41?
Yeah, it was number 41. We got a link to it in the show notes, and we'll have several links that you're going to want in this episode. So go to badco.in/670 for those links. And we called that episode Travis Gets Hacked. But honestly, you didn't get hacked. You got jacked. Right?
I got SIM swapped.
You got SIM jacked is what happened.
Yeah.
So, most of what we call hacking isn't actually hacking. People can't hack into your wallet unless they actually have your keys. What we talk about when we say people get hacked is usually a result of social engineering, clicking on fake links, that type of thing. That's what Kevin Rose did, right? He got caught with a phishing link.
Yeah, and I assume that's what happened with you. I don't even really know the story. So this will be probably mostly a Joel-centric episode where he's talking because he knows most of the details of what occurred. So I'm not even sure exactly how it happened. So where did it all begin, Joel?
Yeah, so that's what's really interesting about that is I don't know exactly how it begun. At some point, a conversation initiated with somebody on Discord. And here's the thing. I've been on Discord for years now. And one of the morals, one of the things that not to do on Discord is accept DMs from strangers, especially those acting with authority over another collection. Those are most of the time phishing links.
Right. So it's a little bit different probably for us, because people are like, hey, we want to come on the Nifty show. Hey, how does this work, et cetera, et cetera. So I think in some ways that could get set up. Now, I personally don't respond. I'll tell people to hit me on Twitter or something, or hit me on email, because, the DMs on Discord, they seem really spammy, and there's not really any way to verify those DMs a lot of times. And so that could be just vulnerability number one right there, is just pay attention to the DMs you get.
Yep. Pay attention to the DMs. And I honestly do not recall how the conversation with this person started, but I got booted from an NFT group that I was in. And I don't know how that happened. I have a feeling that this person is the one that did it. So now as I'm thinking this through, I was in the Sewer Rat Social Club. It's something I've been in since 2021. They were one of the OGs of PFP NFTs. They happened before the Bored Ape Yacht Club. And I've got a bunch of these in my wall. Oh, you know what? I'm wrong. It's not the Sewer Apes. It's the goats. Maison de Goat. So that's another collection right around the same time. It was the goats. And I got a message from somebody that I had spammed that group and was booted from it. Well, I went and looked for that group, and sure enough, I was banned from that group. So it gave legitimacy to it. It appeared to be a mod telling me I got banned. Now he's probably the one that reported me as having spammed and got me booted from the group. Now this is beginning to make sense. So he messaged me and told me, and he sent me a screenshot. And in the screenshot of this alleged spam that I posted, which I did not, was my profile picture and name. But of course, I didn't do that. And I told him I didn't do that. And he wanted to know what my wallet was. And I told him my wallet, blah, blah, blah. And he said he was reinstating me because he was really sorry. And I went to click into the Discord. I still couldn't join the Discord. He said, oh, that's our DAO Discord. Here's the one direct to the collection. And like an idiot, I clicked on it. I went to that Discord and I went to the Collab Land Verify. And that's now when you do a Collab Land Verify, you're going to often, if it's the first time with that wallet, get a transaction saying, you know, that, okay, is this you? And I did it. And the moment I did it, my Zerion app on my phone lit up, and 4 of my apes from the Bulls and Apes collection, I'll actually show them to you right here from one of my other wallets. I actually owned 32 of these that we're getting ready to reveal, and they've just revealed today. You can see my apes right here. Bulls and Apes is a really cool collection, and I had moved these, divided them between 8 wallets, and so only 4 of them remained in that primary wallet. And now I'm thinking about that and realizing if I had not divided up those 32 apes into 8 different wallets, I would have lost all 32 of them. I lost 4 of them. And then I looked at my MetaMask.
Are these the 4 that were stolen?
No, these are a different wallet. These are mine. So one of the other wallets. So now I'm really grateful that I divided them up.
Now, let me ask you that. Let me ask you that, because that's maybe abnormal behavior, whereas most people probably have 1 wallet or maybe 2. What spurred your intuition to say, let me divide these amongst 8? Was there a benefit for meth creation or something?
There was actually a benefit. What we were told by the team is that for every wallet that had 4 in them, you were going to get a bonus loot box that you're going to be able to open here to customize your apes. And so had that not been offered, I would have lost all 32 of those apes,
and maybe some of the bulls as well, potentially.
Well, so I have a lot of different wallets. I have multiple hard wallets. I have keys stored elsewhere. Like I'm super protective, and that's why these were even on a ledger. I just moved everything from hot storage to cold storage so that stupid stuff wouldn't happen. And I still clicked to verify that transaction. And then I looked at my MetaMask and I saw there were 37 transactions waiting to be approved. And so I clicked reject all, because basically he would have wiped my wallet of so many of these. Now, here's the other ironic part about this, and where you guys really need to pay attention and make sure you're equipped. I installed a Chrome extension on my computer that goes with MetaMask called Stelo, 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 is where this is. And this is really cool because you probably can't see this on my screen share because it's a pop-up. But what it does, every time there's a transaction, you get a pop-up first that tells you exactly what's happening. And as you can see here, it tells you if it looks risky. It tells you exactly how much money you're sending. It tells you where you're sending NFTs. And so this is like a condom over your MetaMask that
so they
will
don't steal all your stuff.
correct. And so I had it installed. I didn't have it turned on.
Oh no.
It's like having
man.
a condom by the side of the bed.
That's good. Joel went raw dog all up in that fish.
Yeah, so I got fish, but that's not the most amazing part. And by the way, this is very common. This is what we call social engineering. It's a very constructed and thought through process by these scammers to take your crypto or your NFTs. This is what happened to Kevin Rose, and there's a link to the story where he lost like $1 million in NFTs from a phishing thing that happened to him. He followed a bad link, and those NFTs are gone. Scammers.
And what's crazy is, Joel is not a newbie in this space at all. He's probably one of the more advanced people when you think about, dude, you divided 32 NFTs into 8 different wallets, divided that all up, have multiple ledgers and keys. Who has that? Probably 0.0 something percent of the people actually have that, and he still got hacked.
And I let my guard down. First of all, it was late at night. I was tired, and
he just smoked a huge fat marijuana cigarette.
That is not true, but it could have been true in some alternate life. And I just, it was dumb. You get so accustomed to this stuff that it's easy to let your guard down. And I remember when Kevin Rose did it, and I thought, idiot. Like, right. Why would you fall for something so obvious that you know not to do? Well, right. I did it.
What an elaborate plan, Joel. I mean, seriously. So somehow this guy was able to engineer his way into a community, get a member who's been in there a long time out. And this is presumable before they even knew what your address was, right? Because, okay, send me your address. Let me see so I can let you back on. Then presumably he goes and looks at that wallet, sees what's in that wallet, and says, hey, we can get you back in. Here's the link. It looks like a Discord link, and it takes you to some Discord that may or may not be the right one, which then pops up the Collabland Verify, which is not a Collabland Verify, so that's a very highly intricate sort of scam system that was set up by these guys.
Yeah, and so I'm actually going to share my Discord screen with you, and I wish I had captured the full conversation before I went to bed that night, because I had already been talking with the scammer. But he's deleted all of his text, so you can't see what he said back to me. But this is when he was social engineering me, and then he apologized to me, and that's when it went sideways. And I was I reacted emotionally. And it was
15. The dude's 15.
Well, he said he was 15. Then he said he was 19. Now you can see here from all of my texts that there was a lot of back and forth. Like, we talked for at least 2 hours that night, and he's deleted all of his stuff. But this is what.
How come? Why doesn't Discord actually take these things into account, and that person's IP address, he should be completely banned and shunned from being able to even use it, because look what happened. But Discord and a lot of these big tech customer service companies there's non-existent.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. But what's really sad is the conversation that I had with this guy. He says, and I don't know if he did or not, he said he made $1 million taking money and lost all but 200,000 on leverage trading. I'm like, you're going to lose the rest of it too, because you're a criminal. Here's what really struck me that makes me really sad, and I feel bad for the guy. For me, it's $1,000 in NFTs. Oh, well, NFTs have been good to me. That's life, lesson learned. But for him, his moral compass is so broken that he truly believes that stealing my NFTs is a game that he won and I lost. He sees it the same as Wall Street. that, hey, the financial institutions play this game. They play it legally, but he sees it as, hey, if I'm not hurting my family or my friends, it doesn't matter. And when I realized that, wow, this person truly has no grasp on morality, and was telling me, your morality is not my morality. I thought, we are in big trouble if there is a generation that has no moral foundation.
Well, that's exactly where we are. There's that quote. I don't know exactly who said it, but it said, tough people create good times create weak people create tough times, right? And it's this whole sort of thing. It's like, here we are, tough times create strong people, and strong people create good times create it's basically, we're in this line here where we have weak people are creating tough times. And that whole quote comes into play right now, where look at what's happened. There's no moral compass. Religion is pretty much gone for a lot of people, right? So you don't have the moralities of that. Marriage is gone. Everyone is now, saying which gender they want to be and everything else. And there's a lot of, and you can say who you feel you are and be that. That's great. But there's just a whole lot of wildness. I saw just the other day this lady who was she, her, they, them, something. I'm not exactly sure, but she was offended. And then she got up and started screaming and just disrupted this whole meeting. And I say, wow, there's nothing more disruptive than an angry, offended, extroverted, he, she, they, them, whatever, right? So it's like, when they get upset, like they're just going to sit and scream and screech at the sky. It's because I think maybe timeout didn't really work. When I was a kid, grandma was like, you know what, Travis, go out there and pick out a switch off that tree. I'm going to beat your ass. And you got your ass beat. And guess what? You behaved a little better. We're in a generation where nobody got their ass beat. And so they all just like a bunch of petulant little kids, because they are, and they're going to grow up to be petulant little bitch ass adults.
Right. Karens, a whole bunch of Karens. And the next generation is going to look at them and go, yeah, we're not going to play that anymore. The pendulum's going to swing back. It's going to swing back hard. And there's going to be a generation of children that are going to rebel against this alleged insanity, this alleged rebellion. And I told this kid, I said, what would your dad think of this? Oh, I would never tell him. I'm like, well, why, if it's not wrong? Because dad would see it as wrong. Let me have a conversation with your father and see what he says.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, no, thank you. Goodbye. Click delete.
I ended up like, he said he couldn't get me the NFTs back because his developer had them. Like, for a moment there, I thought he might actually send them back, because I ended up being nice to him. And I ended up, talking, because he was like, I can bench 220 and I'm well liked in school. I get great grades. I got a 1500 on my ACT. I'm like, that's great, but you're an idiot. You're a fool. And this is why. And you might end up going to prison over this stuff. Oh, only 1% of people get caught. I'm like, sooner or later, it's going to catch up with you. It will. Whether you call it karma or, you reap what you sow, or what goes around comes around. I believe that is a law of the universe, and the universe is going to spank the crap out of you at some point. And I told him, you're going to remember this conversation. I'm sure this 17-year-old with an undeveloped brain who thinks he's so smart and thinks he's being ethical and thinks, oh yeah, I know what, my psychological development is at the age of 17, is going to get spanked hard, and he's going to remember our conversation. I'm sure of it.
I remember what was funny was, I have a friend of mine who knew some people on the dark web, and was like, all right, what's his Twitter handle? Because the dude was tweeting me, and then figured out his Twitter handle, figured out his Instagram, his girlfriend's Instagram. And then I started tweeting him pictures of him and his girlfriend kissing on Instagram. And he freaked out. It was hilarious, because this dude literally went into, because when he got my phone, then I gave him access to my Gmail, because you could do the reset through the SMS. And then was trying to get into my Coinbase, but Coinbase, I used a different email specifically for that, so they couldn't get into my Coinbase, which is what they were trying to do. Then they got into my Apple. I got into my Twitter. So then once they were in my Google, they could get in my Google Drive, which I had some photos, had some hot nudes that some chick had sent me back in the day, and then was posting those on my Twitter. And then this dude was just being an overall asshole. And then I figured out who he was. And then what was funny was he accessed my phone, logged into his iPhone, and then through my Find My iPhone app on mine, I was able to identify where he was and then locked his phone so he could not use that phone anymore. And so then he was begging to me, you need to do this, I'm going to do that. I'm like, yeah, apologize and call me King Daddy. And I was not so friendly. I was ended up joking with the guy because he ended up getting nothing from me except being a pain in the ass. So just these guys, what are you going to do? We got a whole generation full of idiots who don't know what the hell they're going to do with their life. And then we got AI taking everything over. So you got these humans with too much time on their hands and not enough monies in their pockets, most generally, and most likely nefarious activities follow suit.
For them and their friends. And he told me this is a game. They compete to see who can steal the most. And look, I was not, the ideal child. I remember taking money out of the cash register drawer, when I was working at the pizza place. I remember I was a doorman at a club in Dallas. Back in 1986, and people would pay, $5, cover fee to come in cash, and every other cash entry I shoved in my pocket. I remember walking out with $300 one night and thought I was, hero. I didn't have a moral compass.
Mm-hmm.
I knew it was wrong, but I didn't care because I needed money, and I was 19 or 21 years old. And I was just a stupid kid, and that's what happens. Stupid kids do stupid things, and I was a stupid adult who let this stupid kid trick me. And it happens, and it can happen to you. You sent me a video earlier of Mr. Beast talking about how somebody broke into his place. Tell the story.
Yeah, so I just saw on this YouTube short, but apparently somebody robbed Mr. Beast before he got really huge, right? And so he had taken $100,000, invested in Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin blew up. So this would have been like probably 2016, 2017 when he bought the Bitcoin. Then the Bitcoin was worth about $2 million. He was about to take some of that money, cash out, and make some videos. This was before he really hit it big. And somebody came in, stole his TV, stole his computer, stole his clothes, all kinds of stuff. And on his laptop, there was a little post-it note that said, Bitcoin private key. Like the worst place to hide, like right there on the thing. And then he realizes, like, oh shit, where's my laptop? Oh God, I'm getting stolen. Oh shit. So he went down to his other computer. They didn't steal his other computer, and he had another note there, Bitcoin private key. He had it in two places, went in, was able to move all of his Bitcoin over before. So the dude didn't steal it. He was too busy about stealing another one of his TVs or whatever. Didn't go and gank his $2 million worth of Bitcoin at that time, which is
so that's a victory story right there. And the guy was, not only a thief, but a truly stupid thief because he had $2 million.
Because who wants a 2017 TV now when you could have had $2 million worth of Bitcoin in 2017, which is now probably $5 million. But you think about that, what Mr. Beast did with that, turned all that money in. So basically he made his YouTube money, bought crypto, turned it into $2 million, and then they used that to fund more videos. And
so the moral,
so that's good.
The moral of the story is, first of all, get cold storage. Use a Ledger or a Trezor or something for your cryptos, because at least then it's more challenging with hot storage. It's a lot easier to get to your stuff and be socially engineered that way. At least with a Ledger, there is that, a transaction's coming in, I need to approve it or disapprove it. Use the web extension Stilo on your MetaMask, and be careful about messages that you get from anybody on Discord, on Telegram, on TikTok, on Instagram, on Signal, on anywhere. Be cautious and don't accept DMs from people. Always verify before you trust. Don't even trust. Verify what's going on first.
So would you say that the fact that Zerion, the app on your mobile device, messaged you, is that the first thing that alerted you that you were getting ganked?
It is. And so this is a free app, and we can put a link to this into the show notes. Zerion is the app you can download. Not sure if they have it for Android. I have it on my iOS, and I don't connect my wallet to Zerion. I just track my wallets on Zerion. So you could just put an address in and tell it to send you notifications. So I track Travis's wallets. Every time Travis does a transaction, I want to know what he's up to. I track several friends, and I get a notification.
I want my privacy, Joel. You're violating my privacy.
Blockchain, it's public. public
Ugh.
ledger. And so I can see when you're transacting in NFTs or in cryptos, because Zirion tells me, and Zirion lit up right away and it said 4 bulls and apes, NFTs sent to, and I'm like, oh crap. So thank you, Zirion. That's another really great point, Trav, is go download the Zirion app. I'm going to find a link to that right now to put into
Yeah,
the
it's
show
good.
notes.
The Zirion and the Stilo that kind of help you modify and to monitor what it is you're trying to do to save your ass. I like that.
App.zirion.com, I believe.
Zerion.
Zirion app is the one that you want to get. Yeah, I'll put a link to that into the show notes. It's Zirion.io, smart social Web3 wallet. Again, you don't need to use it for the wallet aspect. You can just track it. You can track any wallet you want without making it a hot wallet. And so I recommend that. So there you go. Lessons learned. Here's another lesson learned, Trav. You can go and write a review and it'll get read on this podcast, especially if it's 5 stars. We got a review from Mike Mo 1271, fun and entertaining crypto podcast, 5 stars. He says, it's a great show. Look forward to Joel and Travis podcasts every week, including the Nifty Show. Listen to it so often. My fiance is saying the stay bad in the intro every time. Ha ha ha. While she isn't really into crypto, she enjoys listening to Stay Bad, 5 stars. All these other reviewers giving less than 5 are little whiners.
With little whiners with little wieners.
That's right.
So if you leave us like a 3-star or 2 or 1, I assume you have a minuscule manhood. So go ahead, just self-identify your micro penis.
Thanks for listening. Hope you guys learned something today. I know I have this week, and this is not, fool me once. Shame on you.
You won't get fooled again.
Fool me twice. Shame on me. So this, you know what? I'm just going to jump right ahead to the fool me twice. Shame on me. I should have known better.
Yeah.
And,
well, you know what? At least that guy self-identified as having a micro penis.
He did. Yeah.
And, congratulations.
And micro morality too. When we say stay bad, we don't mean be an asshole. We mean just stay bad.
Who's bad?
The Bad Crypto Podcast is a production of Bad Crypto LLC. The content of the show, the videos, and the website is provided for educational, informational, and entertainment purposes only. It's not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, or trading advice of any kind. You shouldn't make any decisions as to finances, investing, trading, or anything else based on this information without undertaking independent due diligence and consultation with a professional financial advisor. Please understand that the trading of Bitcoins and alternative cryptocurrencies have potential risks involved. Anyone wishing to invest in any of the currencies or tokens mentioned on this podcast should first seek their own independent professional financial advisor. Trav, I don't know if you're aware, but the feedback from the show that we did recently about AI was fantastic. And I think we should do a spinoff show because AI does overlap some into blockchain, but mostly not.
And mostly what we've been is sort of the Sherpa to new technologies, right? This whole world of crypto and NFTs and metaverse and play to earn and AI. It just fits right in with what it is that we do.
The Sherpa Derpas, I believe.
The Sherpa Derpas, yeah. The Derpy Derps of the Crypt Derps.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit more. And you guys who get the privilege of listening to these Easter eggs, because sometimes we go on after the show is actually over. Stay tuned.
This isn't an Easter egg, though. This is more of like a Halloween treat, like a trick or treat.
Are we going to trick them or treat them?
I don't know. To be determined.
Well, we'll let AI decide.
Oh, and that's how we can end the show is stay bad. That's good.